Okay, so the book that I am studying for my language level is the part 2 of Genki, an integrated course in elementary Japanese. This is Genki. So, I'll start by going into the pages. We have here at the beginning of the book a reference to a script called katakana, and you use, I believe Genki 1 had hiragana at the beginning, and the way Japanese is written is in the form of a syllabary, and as opposed to an alphabet, a syllabary is a single syllable. For instance, you have your I, E, U, E, O lines, and then down here the consonants are ones that begin with consonants. So in A we have ka, sa, ta, na, ha, ma, ya, ra, wa, and n is an outlier. It's the only one that's an actual syllable. And so this is the script katakana. This is katakana. So if you look on the here, ka, 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 ta, ka, na. So this is actually how you read Japanese with the syllabary. It's similar to an alphabet, but it's syllables. There are several languages that use this as these type of characters as well. Oddly enough, Cherokee is one of them. Cherokee has a syllabary that's very similar to the Japanese syllabary, with their own syllables added in that are quite unique. But as we go on, I, ki, shi, chi, ni, hi, mi, ri. And if you notice, ra, ri, ru, re, ro, it's a combination of an R and an L sound. So it's not ra, ri, ru, re, ro, or la, li, lu, le, lo. It's ra, ri, ru, re, ro. It's hard to explain. It takes a little practice to get used to it, and I may not do it perfectly. And then down here, you'll see it's a repeat of the same syllables with an accent on it called a tenten. The two lines that look like apostrophes. And what that does is it takes the ka and creates ga when you see tenten. Gi, gu, ge, go, and so on. And so you just go through and you memorize these along these tables. Once you get the basics, the kaki, kuke, the a, I, u, e, o, and then all of the basic consonants without the tenten, and then the maru, which is the circle, you can basically read these. But the caveat with katakana is this is used for words of foreign origin. Hiragana, which is taught in Genki 1, is used for native Japanese words. So the symbols, the characters that represent each syllable, they match sound for sound, but they are different symbols. So you have to learn both scripts. You have to learn hiragana and katakana together. And that's your basic reading. Beyond that, you have like these more complicated characters called kanji. And kanji is the lifelong learning portion of learning Japanese. So like, for instance, this foreword, I can read much of it, but I can't read all of it. But hajime ni means to begin, or preface. In this case, there's an English translation. I'm jumping straight into the topics because I am studying tonight. And these are the table of contents. So I'm going to start with chapter 1. I've gone through chapter 1 several times, but my goal is to get into this. So it's actually lesson 13 because Genki 1 ended with lesson 12. And this is arobaito. I can't read. I need to get my glasses. Sagashi. So sagashi to search. So looking for a part-time job. Sagashi is searching. So arobaito sagashi, looking for a part-time job. Arobaito means part-time job. It's a loan word. That's the reason why this is written in katakana, is because it comes from the German word Arbeit, which means to work or job. But in Japanese, they took Arbeit and made it Arobaito. It's their pronunciation for the German word that they loan from. And then it's broken down into sections, so potential verbs, which I'll go over. Nani nani shi, so when you see a tilde, you call tilde in English, but they use a tilde meaning nani nani or something something shi, and it will explain it in the chapter. It's usually used for listing things. Nani nani so desu looks like something. Nani nani temiru nara. Okay, and then 1週間に3回. So I believe that's in 1 week's time. I do this 3 times. This is an example of a pattern, a verbal pattern. So we'll go through all of these. So we're going to go straight to chapter 13. Of course, there are many chapters in this book, and it covers a lot of grammatical and language topics, new vocabulary. I haven't gone through the entire Genki 2 yet, so this is my goal. And I think I may record my progress in doing this. There's also a workbook that goes along with this, and if anyone's interested, I usually write in pencil. Like, there's examples of, like, here's how you learn your kanji, and I've done this many times when learning hiragana and katakana, just writing, and then when I run out of space, I grab a notebook with graph paper, and I continue on, and then I start writing my sentences, because since it's block, just like that, I try to keep my spacing within certain confines. I can tell you that when I get into it, I think my Japanese writing tends to be better than my English, because my English is so sloppy. My dad, when I was a kid, used to, even in high school, used to tell me that my handwriting looked like chicken scratch or worms let loose on a piece of paper. So, trying to tell me, hey, be a little bit more mindful of your handwriting. And to be honest, he had some beautiful handwriting, like founding fathers, beautiful, like style handwriting. So if you look down here, there's different fonts used. So these are all the same character, but just like in English or Roman characters, we have different fonts, and the same goes for Japanese. You can see there's little hane at the end, looks like a, when you have a brush, and it's a brush stroke, the brush lifting from the page. So there's different techniques for using that hane. Textbook font is very basic, as you can see, but as you go down to other styles, they can have a different kind of feel to them. So I'm going to move to here. Oh, this is nice, because throughout the book are the same characters, so you kind of get a story that makes it kind of fun, and you kind of get invested in the characters. So you got Meari, so Mary, Meari, got Takeshi, and then these are the main characters, and then the other characters, so these are their Tomodachi to Sensei. You have John. Oh man, my cat kind of bad. See, this is why I need to practice it. Yui, Robato, Yamashita Sensei. Yamashita. So I recognize that kanji. When you have this in the side part going down, it means under. So Yamashita. And then you have Naomi. Let's see. Carlos, I guess. Yasmin, okay. Wade? Wade? Is that right? Let's see, I go back to here. And I can look it up and see which character I'm looking for. And this is where I need all these refreshers. So this is why I'm getting back into Genki. So, okay. So, ude. Okay, that's Ken. And, oka-san, so this is mom. Oto-san, which is dad. And mana. Okay. Okay. So, and I will mess up a lot. So this is part of me studying. I will include all of my mistakes as you've just seen. I'm not going to edit out mistakes. If I forget how to read something, you'll catch every part of it. But as I go through the book and I get my eyes reacclimated to reading and things like that, hopefully it becomes more fluid by the end of this. So this may be quite a few videos. But we'll start here, and I'm going to move to the side a little bit so I can read it better. So, Tencho. So Tencho is like, I guess, the restaurant owner or the restaurant manager. He says, "Hi." So John calls the restaurant called Little Asia. It says, "Hi, Little Asia desu." So he's saying, this is, you answer the phone as a business. "Hi, this is Little Asia." And he says, "Watakushi, John Wan to moshimasu." Means my name is John. John Wan. Arubaito boshu. I believe that's ad. Arubaito boshu no. No boshu. Boshu no kokoku o mittan desu ka? So I believe it says I saw an ad or help wanted ad or something. A part-time ad for part-time is arubaito. そうですか。じゃあ、会って話しましょうか。会って、can you come and meet? So, そうですか means I see. じゃあ、well, can you come and meet? I guess 話しますか and to talk. 今日店に来られますか? So, 来られますか? That's potential verb. That's so to come. So, can you come to the shop today? Is what it's saying. 今日は, John says, 今日はちょっと行けないんですか? So he's saying, I can't really come today. 明日なら行けると思います. So, tomorrow I think I can come. Tencho says, そうですか。今日はダメですか？ダメですか？ So, today is impossible. じゃあ、明日の1時頃はどうですか? So, they continue the sentence. どうですか? How does that sound? How about that? じゃあ、well, 明日 is tomorrow. じゃあ、明日の1時 is 1 o'clock. 1時頃, which means around. 頃 means around. So, じゃあ、明日の1時頃はどうですか? So, how about tomorrow around 1 o'clock? And then John says, 1時ですね。わかりました. So he's saying, I can do 1 o'clock. I understand. わかりました usually means I understand. So the next day at the restaurant, he meets Tencho. He says, ワンさんはどうしてこのアルバイトに I can't read that. 興味があるんですか? So 興味 is interest. So he's saying, John, どうして means why. このアルバイト this job. この is this. So ワンさんは sorry, I might have said John. ワンさんは Mr. Wan. どうして why. このアルバイト this job. Do you have an interest in this job? あるんですか? And John says, omoshiro so desu kara means it. Kara at the end, it means you're giving a reason. So omoshiro so means emotionally means interesting. So when you add so at the end, it means it looks interesting. So omoshiro so desu kara. So because this job looks interesting, iroiro na hito ni aeru shi. Oh, okay. Iroiro means lots of or various. Iroiro na hito means lots of various people or various people. Aerushi means to meet. Nihongo mo skaerushi. Skaerushi means to use. Nihongo is the Japanese word for the Japanese language. Nihon is Japan. And go means language. So Nihongo mo also. Mo means also. So he's saying I can also use Japanese. So the job looks interesting. There's a lot of people to meet, and he can use Japanese. So, emotional so desu kara, iroiro na hito ni aeru shi, nihongo mo sukaeru shi. So that's his reason. Then Tencho says, Nihon de hataraita koto ga arimasu ka? So, Nihon de hataraita. Nihon de hataraita koto ga arimasu ka? It means, so have you worked? I think he's asking if he's ever worked in Japan before. Because hatarai, let's see where. Yeah, hataraita means to have worked. Koto is like to have, like a thing. It's an abstract thing. So he's saying, have you ever worked in Japan before? And John says, Hai. Konbini means convenience store. It's a loan word. That's why it's written in katakana. It's short. It's short for convenience. Konbini. Konbini no arubaito. Hai. Konbini no arubaito narashita. Arubaito. Konbini no arubaito narashita koto ga arimasu. Okay, so he's saying I have worked at a convenience store before. Tencho says, Ashita kara hajimeraemasu ka? So can you work tomorrow? Can you start working? Can you start tomorrow? Hajimeru means to start something. So ashita kara hajimeraremasu ka? It still doesn't roll off my tongue very well. John says, Hai. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu, which means to please be kind to me, I can do it. Tencho says, Ganbatte kudasai, please do your best. And then this conversation continues a little longer. Oh, there's translation on the page too. Next page. So, the next day he's at work, and Professor Yamashita comes to Little Asia, which means it's one of John's teachers in probably college. So John says, Irashaimase. So you'll hear that in Japan when you go into a shop. Yamashita sensei. So he recognizes him. Yamashita sensei says, John-san, ここでアルバイトをしているんですか? John says, so John-san. So he calls him John. Koko arubaito. So this part-time job. Shiteiru desu ka? So do you work here? John says, like yeah. Just a kind of a casual, informal way to say yes. どれが美味しい? Oh, hold on, did I miss? Yeah, I did miss something. Okay, so it says, 1週間 means over a week's time. 1週間 ni, in 1 week. Ni means in. 1週間 ni 3日. Oh, 3日. Sorry. Days. The amount of days is 3日. So, if you look, that's a kanji for 3. 3日. 3 days. 働いています. 働いています means I am working. Yamashita Sensei says, そうですか。どれが美味しいですか? Oh, what is good here? What is delicious? Which one? どれが? So he says, I see. Which thing is delicious? And John's recommendation is, このカレーが一番人気. So ninki means popular. Ichiban means number one. So このカレー, which is curry. このカレーが一番人気がありますよ. He added yo at the end to kind of emphasize like how exciting it is to have this popular dish. So Yamashita Sensei says, 美味しそうですね. It's just like, I see, that sounds delicious. じゃあ食べてみます. So 食べる, 食べます means to eat. 食べてみます means I want to try to eat. That てみます changes the verb to eat into I want to try to eat. 食べてみます or I will try it. Not want to try, but I will try. Oops, I just bumped my camera. And then next is a lot of vocabulary. And I can go through all of these. This is something I need to study. So I think for the next video, I'm going to go through the entire vocabulary. And I think by doing this and talking about it, it'll actually help with my memory as well. Because to do this is another way to just drill it into my mind. A lot of these words I already know, but it's always good to do review. And there's always new things that I pick up when I do any kind of review. So, next video will be, I can make a lot of videos on this book, but next video will be studying the vocabulary list.